Paris was the most beautiful. No, Barcelona was the most beautiful. Now I'm moving to Florence. I think Florence was the most beautiful. It's like the tallest and the fastest. It's like 89 degrees, so it's like literally down, 89 degrees steep. Going to have pizza today, no matter what Cole is going to score.
Hello, hi. As usual, standard awkward intro. And on that note, today we have a very interesting person on board who is famous for his awkward comedy. So I welcome Chris Evans with us.
Thank you.
Chris Evans from Baroda.
Without the cap.
Apdu Vadodara. Yes, without the cap. And so today, hopefully, this will be the song number 20. And we are today going to make a song for him. Mostly ऐसा कुछ फिक्स नहीं है. कल जैसे लास्ट एपिसोड में हमारा हुआ था कि बनाने कुछ और गए थे, निकल कुछ और गया स्टोरी और फिर बन कुछ और गया. सो वैसा हो भी सकता है, बट वी प्रेफरेबली वांट टू मेक अ ट्रैवल सॉन्ग टुडे एंड हैप्पी ट्रैवल सॉन्ग, लिटिल बिट मोटिवेशनल और इफ नॉट मोटिवेशनल जस्ट अ लेड बैक ट्रैवल सॉन्ग. ठीक है. So that is our goal today. So we'll start with basic standard intro of Aatman, and later on then we'll dive right into a solo trip that he recently took. And so you went backpacking across Europe.
I did, but it wasn't anything like that story. not one bit. But
okay.
Yeah, I do have a mini love story though, but we'll get to it.
Acha, okay.
But, yeah, that's
first of all about you, man. Kairit now, when did you start your journey in creative field?
So not many know, but I'm a computer engineer on paper.
Oh.
Yes. So yeah, that was like, I didn't have a choice. Like I was good in school, so I went for science, then for engineering.
Right.
And I always wanted to go to the best engineering field, so I chose computers. But I don't know anything about computers even today. The first code that we did was printf hello world or something. That is the only one that I know. But yeah, then I started competing in the cultural fests and everything for my college, in theaters and in music. So that is where I kind of thought maybe like I can do something in music. I was still not taking comedy that professionally, so I was like, I can do something in music. So after my college, I did 1 year of music school, did music production.
And this was where?
This was in Bombay, but like college from home only because COVID.
Right.
So I did a production course, FL Studio and everything.
Right.
So 1 year of that, but then I was a little clueless because it didn't make sense.
Of course.
Then I started making memes and everything. I used to put them on stories and people used to laugh, like 60-70 people at the most. But then I kind of took a leap of faith and then turned my name from Aatman to aatmeme. And I started posting memes and everything on my feed, and then reels came in.
Right.
Then 1 went viral, 2 went viral, and then money started coming. So I was like, fuck, I need to take this seriously. So yeah, so I started taking it seriously. I also had a job side by side where I used to talk to influencers for brands. Like I used to do digital marketing for brands.
Right.
And that is when I figured that they charge a lot of money. Exactly. They charge like a lot of money. So I was like, if I reach there by any chance, I can do a lot for myself.
Right. So now a lot of Aatmans call you.
Yes,
every day.
Ex-Aatmans to the current Aatmans. Yes. So yeah, that is how it started, and then yeah, it kind of. I thought of quitting it also midway because I was stuck around 12,000-13,000 followers at one point for like 6 odd months. And I was like, fuck, I can't like go ahead. I mean, it's kind of plateaued now.
Right.
But then I kept going, and then got a nice push.
And on a very honest note, not a very, I'm not trying to, musko marwan try nahi karta.
Yeah.
But I remember that phase because there is only probably one comedian that I follow.
Right.
Die hard. 2 actually. One is Veerdas, one is you.
Thank you, man.
And I did mostly at least 8 or 10 times I've mentioned to my fiance, Anu growth kya nahi hai? Why is this person not growing? His content is so unique.
Very frustrating because it was even more frustrating because people I knew and the people who knew me through them, they kind of kept on asking them, Anu, he has such great content. Why is he stuck on 12?
Correct.
I was like, I don't know, maybe someday. Then I got a huge push from 12 to 50, 100, 200. So it kept going, touch wood. But,
wood
all around. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's how I started, and now I'm doing this full time, at least as of now.
Right. Which was that reel?
The first one that went was South Indian, the Illa one, where I was on 2,000 odd followers, and that pushed me to like 8-9,000.
Right.
Then I was stuck again. Then I did one about the Kumbh Mela, which kind of went viral, but I got a lot of reports and death
Backlash.
threats and all of that weird
Oh.
stuff. And I used to wake up to like hundreds of galis and everything in comments in DMs, and it was very bad. I think that is why my reach kind of went down, because a lot of people reported my account, I guess. The Bharat Army, Hindu Army, this, that, this, that.
Right,
So
right.
then I was stuck for like 6 odd months, but then there was this Choti Bachchi Ho Gaya Walu trend.
Ah.
So that went like 8-9 million, and then other creators started noticing what I do, and then that took me to like 30-40, and then Hindi commentary went
Right.
viral, all of them. So 50, then just now Paris wali reels went super viral. So
Super
half
viral.
of my new, so I was at 110 something when I went to Paris
Huh.
for my solo trip, and I came back with 210.
Right.
And so the 100 of them, they probably think that I stay in Paris, because that is how they saw me, right? Because I
Right,
made 4 or
first
5 reels around
impression.
Paris.
True.
So they were like, maybe he stays in Paris and just creates content out of. So I met fans in Prague. Okay, I'll come to that when we talk about the trip. But yeah, so basically, many followers still ask me, do you study in Paris? Do you stay in Paris? What are you
Right.
doing? I'm in Paris. Do you want to meet? I'm like, I'm back home now.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that is the basic story.
Right.
If you
What was your stigma to take this trip?
I don't know, man. I always wanted to do. I am a very introverted person, honestly. I'm not comfortable around people. Even today, now I'm a little confident because I know that people kind of know me,
Right.
so it becomes easier. But I always wanted to, like, I always try to push myself out of the comfort zone. It sounds very cliche, but
Right.
I've always actually tried to do that. So I had to do something which makes me really uncomfortable.
Hmm.
So I could have maybe gone to somewhere in Manali or somewhere, but that would have still been easier because language is not that big an issue.
Correct.
But then I thought, why not just, if I'm doing something, taking myself out of the comfort zone, why not just throw me out of
Right,
like
right,
way out of my comfort zone? So yeah, but I was planning this for like 3-4 years.
Hmm.
I was thinking Australia, I was thinking US because I have relatives in US.
Hmm.
Then I thought, no, maybe I'll just stick to somewhere I don't know anyone.
Right.
So
I see a pattern over here. So
It
this
is.
is our 4th interview
Yeah.
for this particular series.
right,
Song is number 20th, but
Yeah.
this 4th where we are actually talking to people and making songs from their
Right.
story.
Hmm.
All of them are artists.
Oh, right.
Everyone has said the same thing, that I'm an
Yeah.
introvert.
Yeah.
And all of these people don't. If you were to meet them on camera or
Yeah.
off camera, you
Yeah.
wouldn't believe that,
yeah.
because everyone has a very extroverted impression
yeah,
on
online.
camera.
Yeah, I know what
So
you're
that's a
saying.
pattern,
Yeah.
and that is personally true for me as well.
Yeah.
It is true for Tirth also.
Yeah.
So I see a pattern over here that
Yeah.
probably every extroverted artist online
Is
an
actually
introvert offline.
Yes, true.
If this is true for Ranveer Singh, I would love to know.
I don't think so. It can be. He is on something. He's 100% on something all the time. If he's an introvert, then you can't pull this shit off.
Whenever
man.
someone says this, he's on something, I always say it's black magic.
Yeah.
Even cocaine can't do this to you.
I don't know, man. It's something weird that he does. Did you see the latest one with Shaquille O'Neal and? this
Yeah,
guy?
yes.
I think they're sick of him. I guess they are also. There's this video where he's kind of waving to someone on a video call,
Right.
and the other guys look sick of Ranveer now. I mean, just enough, because
Right.
I think I wouldn't be very happy around him for more than 30-40 minutes. It's too much energy to be around, man. I can't.
It's a lot of competition
It
to
is.
feel.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coming to the trip, and then what was your first decision? Which, like,
I want to do this kind of a thing.
yes.
Like I said, I was thinking Australia
Hmm.
for the World Cup because I'm a
Right.
big cricket person. But they had COVID restrictions and everything, so Europe. And then I don't know. I was actually worried. I was very nervous naturally, but I was even more nervous because I didn't know what I'll do with my content as well. Because I was thinking it. Now I'm in this loop where I have to kind of think about what I'm gonna post next, what I'm gonna shoot next. It's a
Absolutely.
weird loop to be in.
Yes.
But so that was kind of a weird tension because it was like a 50-day trip.
Hmm.
So if I don't shoot anything there, then my reach goes down, followers I start losing, and all of that was
Yeah.
in my mind. But I was like, just let it be. I'm just gonna kind of do this. So yeah, nothing really kind of pushed me. I think I was planning just out of fun, like to be cool, like I'm going on a solo trip, and then things started getting real, and I started getting nervous. But then I made the bookings, and I was like, fuck it, I have to do this. And yeah, it turned out pretty well.
How long was it?
It was 35 days in Europe and 12 days in the US.
Wow.
So US I wasn't alone. I have my brother and
Correct.
his wife.
correct.
Yeah.
So now let's jump to the trip.
Yeah.
Day one.
Day one was I landed in Amsterdam. I have
Hmm.
my uncle and auntie living in Amsterdam. So that was just like the base. So I put all my extra luggage there, which
Right.
I'm gonna take to the US later on. Took my backpack, like a 10 odd day saman, and that was for 25 days, but just like a mini bag. And yeah, I was very nervous because Amsterdam is still okay, but the bus I had to take to Paris was from Hilversum, and they do not speak English, so everything was in Dutch, and it's pretty difficult to read. And still, I kind of figured somehow because I knew people, I had family. I figured reach Paris, and Paris was, I think, it was one of the best places I went to, but one of the worst decisions to go there first, because again they're very rude. People in Paris suck. They're very very bad. The place is so beautiful, but the people are equally bad. But it was bad, I think, even worse because it was my first destination. I was very nervous and I knew nobody, and they don't speak English. They speak only French, and if you don't speak French, they kind of don't look at you the same way. So it was kind of weird, but a day into it, 2 days into it, I'd say I kind of got comfortable because I realized nobody gives a fuck about what I'm doing in Paris. Nobody cares. I'm just walking around. Even if I walk around naked, nobody's gonna give a fuck. Everyone's gonna look at me for like 5 minutes, and then they're gonna do their thing. So because everyone's there to do their own thing.
True.
I saw a lot of weird people. Like, Paris was so scary because the metros I took. First of all, getting the tickets to the metros was a task because again French. All the details on the screen are in French, no English. But I still somehow made way, and it was the second metro trip, I think. That night I went to Eiffel Tower, and I don't know, I thought it must be overrated, but it is one of the most beautiful places I've been to. It's meant to be romantic, obviously, but I was alone, and I had couples all around me, which was a little frustrating as well. But it was still so beautiful. The entire place. It's actually something nobody should miss, especially if you're with someone in life, then you should definitely go. But if you're alone, it was
went there
still
twice, right?
I went one in the day and one at night, so it was the same day only. But at night is just something else, man. When it all lights up and yeah. And then that was my first day where I shot content in front of so many people, and it was weird because there was this small street light kind of a thing, so I had to go under that to have enough light on me. Then I started shooting in front of 30-40 people very close sitting around me, and I'm just shouting, hey Jignesh, Thepla, this, that. It was very, very, like, if you see my first drafts, I'm not loud. I'm like just kind of, just murmuring stuff because I was very nervous because what will people think? I was like, fuck it, they don't understand Gujarati. Even if they do, they don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So I was like, let's just go with the flow. So yeah, so I shot my first reel there, and then I got confident, like, shooting. I thought this is what I'm gonna do all my trip. I'm just gonna go observe people and just turn it into like a meme or whatever. And then I saw shops and I turned them into meme names and all of that. So I started. I usually I just woke up and I started looking forward to the day. Then after 2 days in Paris, so I was kind of not handcuffed anymore, I would say. So it was kind of azadi kind of a thing. So that was kind of fun. So yeah, then I woke up. I just walked around the streets all day, literally 7-8 kilometers every day. So yeah, and then I didn't know, but actually when I had to leave Paris, it was kind of sad because I think Eiffel Tower made it stand out. I'm pretty sure because it's everyone knows about it, but it's beautiful. It's actually very very beautiful. I think maybe the state of mind I was in, or maybe it was just that feeling of I'm not scared anymore kind of a feeling,
or maybe the feeling, or maybe that everyone there is feeling the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the energy around you, right?
Correct.
So yeah, and it just came at the perfect time. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna kickstart this trip now.
Right.
And I think it was the perfect kind of a delayed start, but a perfect start.
Correct.
Yeah, that was Paris, and yeah, then I was pretty confident. I booked my. So I have never in my life, like, staying in Baroda, I don't live in a metro city, obviously. So you don't do stuff on your own. Basically, you have maid culture. You have maids at home.
Of course,
they serve you food. You have your parents. You live with your parents. You don't usually, like, smallest of things, like you don't book your own tickets. If you do, you don't go to the station alone. So everything was very new to me. So even the smallest of things, like booking a train for myself, reaching the station by myself, sitting on the correct seat by myself, all of that felt like an achievement. And so yeah, I took the next train from Paris to Marseille. Marseille was where my cousin was staying with his girlfriend.
Okay.
So he has a Dutch girlfriend. Okay. And she has a house, a weekend home in Marseille, 1 hour away from Marseille, basically. So yeah, that is where we went, and I met my cousin, his girlfriend, and 2 other friends of theirs, and stayed with them for 3 days. It was like we just chilled at home, and then had fun, went out for nice food, and met a few locals and all of that. So yeah, Marseille was more like relaxing. I didn't do a lot of touristy stuff there. yeah, so that was Marseille. Then what was next? Paris, Marseille, Barcelona. So there was again a train, a bus. So I booked myself like I paid like 30 extra euros for a panoramic view of the bus. So I was sitting, it was a two-story bus. So I was sitting right basically on top of the driver. Here's the driver, and on the top floor it's me, and it's like a whole
Right.
window all to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I could literally see what's happening. So it was a very, very pretty kind of a road. It was 7 hours in bus. Took a lot of time, but it was very pretty
Right.
all the while. There was beaches, there were like greenery, there were beautiful bridges and all of that. So yeah, Barcelona, I think, is somewhere I would again go if I'm going alone to Europe sometime, because I love beaches in general.
Right.
But Barcelona has this beautiful 6 kilometers no stretch beach no. So it's like the Barcelona beach, which is 6 kilometers long. So I literally took one day this and one day this, so 6 and 6. So 2 days I spent just walking by the beach, and all of this while, again, not to forget, I had my headphones on,
Right.
and I was listening to full Bollywood music, and I was living my
I was
Bollywood
about to
character
ask
life.
that.
I was doing that, man. I think that was what made the trip even easier for me, because like today I wake up, I want to be, say, some character, say I want to be Bunny today, so I just listen to Ilahi kind of music,
Right.
and I just walk around, and I'm just, because I know nobody is looking at me, because I know I'm all by myself, nobody's judging me, nobody
Right.
gives a fuck. I was living the Bollywood life for like 30, 40 days. And one day maybe I wake up, I'm not in a very happy mood, so I have this playlist called Sad Boy Hour. I put that on, and there's Jag Suna Suna Lage, and I'm just walking around
Right.
with Jag Suna Suna Lage and all of that. So yeah, that's what I started in Barcelona.
Right.
And like nice breeze flowing, there's the
Right.
beach, and you're just walking with beautiful music playing in the background, and it's super loud, so there's no noise, there's no
The
other noise.
quirkiest song.
There's okay. There's this weird song called I don't know if you know that, Chumme Mein Chavan Prash Hai. Do you know that song?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of
So
course.
that was kind of my morning
Tere
song.
chumme mein chavan
Exactly.
prash hai.
And the best part, nobody's Indian around, so even if I put that on speaker, so I have this habit of
Okay.
listening to music while I shower also.
Right.
So, and hostels mein raha hu everywhere. So Barcelona hostel mein, there was like, we didn't have a room bathroom. We had a common bathroom on the second
Correct.
floor, where there were showers and bathrooms and everything. So I took my Bluetooth speaker there and
Right.
showering, and I put Chumme Pe Chavan Prash on repeat, and nobody understands. So nobody's gonna judge me, because they don't know how weird the song is.
Right.
So I can just jam to it, and that was my morning song. That was almost every day my morning song. And I had a feel good kind of a playlist
Right.
to, like, freshen up and just go feel good in the morning, basically.
Right.
But then I always started with Chumme Mein Chavan Prash in the shower. I think that would be the quirkiest song. Yeah, that's probably my guilty
Have you
pleasure
seen that
kind of.
film?
I haven't. Oh, but is that Bhavesh Joshi?
Yes.
Oh, I have.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have. Like that movie, yeah. I don't know why it didn't do that well, but yeah. So that was the.
That's pretty
song.
much all films these days.
I know, man.
Why don't they do well?
It's just some weird culture going around. I love going to the theaters. I did go to the theater in Europe also. Yeah, I'll come to that.
You
Yeah, I'll come to
saw
that.
Brahmastra there.
I did. I was really excited for that, man. I was worried because I don't know if they'll release it. I was in Prague around that
Okay.
time. Wait, I'll just come to that. So Barcelona, yeah, I did a few touristy things also. I went to a few churches. So Barcelona is very heavy on architecture. So I did a few touristy stuff, and then I thought maybe I should just take one step forward and start talking to locals just randomly. So I was sitting at the beach, and this Italian guy comes. It was like a bench, and I was sitting alone. And then this guy comes and sits, and I was like, "Hi, how are you? Where are you from?" And then I kind of had a good 15-20 minute live conversation with him, which was fun. So then I kind of broke the shackles even more, that I'm even more confident because I can just go talk to random people. So I started doing that, and I was just walking around. Even if I know where to go, I just started asking random localites, where is this place? So it just kind of makes you feel better about yourself in a way. So I started doing that. Then Barcelona, India, Pakistan. I saw in Barcelona at a Pakistani restaurant. So there was this guy who was Pakistani, and I met him on the second, third day only, and I was like, "Ki Sunday ko match hai, to fir." He was like, "We'll put it here if you want to come." I was like, "Fuck, okay, I'll come." I wore blue. I went there, watched it with them, and we won that match. So that was
So you were
fun.
the only one.
Yeah, I was the
Indian.
only Indian. So there were three
Oh.
Pakistanis, all the staff wala, and obviously the restaurant was on. So I was having my pasta and everything. I wasn't having pizza because I had taken this oath where I won't eat pizza till Kohli scores a century.
Right.
He did while I was on the trip. I'll come to that as well. But yeah, so I watched India Pakistan with a Pakistani, and it was all fun. It was a good day basically. It was a Sunday, beach, Pakistan, India Pakistan. So good day.
Right.
And then yeah, Barcelona. I just roamed around. I had a 6-bed Wadu room in the
Correct.
hostel in Barcelona, but the people were pretty not great. Like it
Hmm.
was okay people. There was a Chinese group, 3 of them were Chinese, and they weren't like I asked them to go out also, but they were like maybe we, like they didn't directly say no, but I got the vibe that they don't want to kind of hang out with other people. So I was like fuck it. So I just went out alone and just roamed around 5.5 days Barcelona, and then I took the next flight to Florence. I don't know, it's just weird how right now if I'm expressing, I just feel like Paris was the most beautiful. No, Barcelona was the most beautiful. Now I'm moving to Florence. I think Florence was the most beautiful. So it just
Right.
keeps getting better. I think it just kept getting better there as well.
Right.
So Florence, and I was very surprised. Florence was kind of, I was just hoping कि मने कई problem था because what else? What am I gonna tell people when I go back? There has to be something that can stop me from going smoothly. So that did happen. So I landed in Florence and my internet didn't work.
Okay.
So and I had no idea what area my hostel is in, or how do I go there and everything. And my internet didn't work, so I started panicking and I started asking people what to do, which bus to take, which train to take. I have no clue.
Right. Right.
So very few people also. There weren't many people around, and all of them were tourists, most of them. So I just took a train without a ticket, and somehow I just crossed my fingers, reached the city center, and thank God my hostel was right in the center of the city, which was very surprising because that's probably the best location. It was a very cheap hostel, so I was happily surprised. So yeah, I took the kind of still no internet, but I somehow found my hostel. Took me like 3-4 hours to get there, and then opened the window and there's the market. So I was right in the center of the city. So I didn't have to take any tickets, any buses. Then I somehow called Vodafone, got my internet and everything working again, and then I started walking around with my headphones again. And Florence is, it's, I don't know, it was a different. The weather was pretty good, and it's just a different vibe. In the morning, all like till sunlight, it's all market. Like they're selling leather, they're selling purses and all of that. And then 6 p.m. all the markets shut, and it's a different place altogether. It's like there are people, but there are churches, and the architecture, everything is white. Everything is almost white and green. Everything I can remember, white, green, semi-green, like very mild, mellow colors. And just, I don't know, it was like a maybe 300, 400 meters new circle going around the church. I did that like 100 times every day because it was so beautiful just to walk around it. Just walk around. If you feel like eating, there's a restaurant here. If you feel like drinking, there's a bar here.
Wow.
So beautiful place.
Must be a very small city.
It's a very small city. The city center is very small, though I don't know if the city is that small. But yeah, there's this thing called Guru Walk. So that's kind of they give you a guided walk around the city. It's called Guru Walk. So I took the Guru Walk for a day. They showed me
call it the Guru Walk.
They don't, like it's kind of a franchisee. So they have their own thing. Every city they give you a Guru Walk. Like they tell you about the city and everything.
Right, right.
So I took that, and that kind of was a little boring because it's too much history. I'm not too much into history. But like if you show me a church, I'll just look at it, adore it, and I'll just walk away. I won't be like, oh, so that was all of what it was about. But took that, walked around the city, very small city center. So yeah, and then I found like 4-5 spots. I had like 4 days, so I found 4 spots for myself. Okay, ek divas main yahan chill kare, sakho divas. Next day I'm gonna stay here all day. Next day I'm gonna walk around this. So I chose all of these, and I did that. And every day, wake up, listen to music, go around the spot, just relax. And at 5 p.m. pachi, the weather is so cool. It's like it's very breezy, very like thandu breezy, and very nice people, very very nice people in Italy, beautiful people. And it was great because the people I saw in Paris were the exact opposite. Then Barcelona was better, and Florence was even better. So yeah, and then I talked to a few here and there. Like there were a lot of solo travelers in Florence. So I went for dinner with what was his name again? I forgot his name. Belgian guy, Rob, I guess, Rob or something. Just a 3-letter word. I forgot. Roy, R-O-Y.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was sick of having bread, man. I was sick of having bread all this while because European culture is mostly bread for a meal. They have bread for lunch, bread and cheese, hundreds of cheese, different types of cheeses, and bread. So yeah, but I had nice pasta and everything, and then we talked, and then just walked around the city, and yeah, that was kind of fun. I had like a lot of heart to heart kind of conversations with a stranger for the first time.
Correct.
We're not going to see each other ever again.
Right.
So it's like Corsica, but not female. Just 2 guys talking to each other about life. So that was fun. So yeah, that was Florence, and Florence was more about, I think I would call it the place where I actually kind of found comfort.
Right.
All around the trip, I was like, fuck, finally this is it. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want to. I can go wherever I want to. You push me somewhere, I can stay alone. I can figure my way out anywhere,
Right.
from anywhere. So that was kind of that opening moment. I think Florence was finally, I was there. I was like, I don't want to go back now. I'm just gonna stay around here. Yeah. So then I left for Prague. Prague was, I was in full rockstar mode in Prague because Rockstar was in Prague.
Yes.
So yeah, I went to the Charles Bridge where there were a few scenes from Rockstar. I was listening to Tum Ho, Nadan Parinde, Jo Bhi Main, etc., etc.,
Right.
all day. And second day in Prague, I had my friends joining me. So
Right.
and I reached on the 9th, which was Brahmastra's release date.
Correct.
So I was like, I have to do this. The last thing I want to do solo on my trip is go watch a movie in Europe, go watch a Hindi movie in Europe. I was like, "Theek, so I booked my tickets for Brahmastra, and it was like I'm back to India because it was full and all Indians and so many Gujaratis,
Finally.
man. It was happy, but they were very non-European, right? I was used to
Right.
people being all polite, thank you, sorry, and all of that. And these guys were, hey, popcorn. So I was like, okay, I'm back home. And I was just having popcorn, and then this guy just comes, are you Aatmeme? I'm like, yes, oh my god, did I just meet fans in Prague? And then an entire group comes in Ipachar, like 5-6 people. And they were like, we're huge fans, we're huge followers. And I was like, fuck, did I just meet fans in Prague? Which is a big deal. That's a big deal. Yeah, what are the odds? So, yeah, and then I kind of got my own. And then people were staring because obviously they're asking for pictures, and I'm like giving pictures, and people don't know. Obviously, I'm not like an international celebrity or whatever. So, everyone's staring, who is he, and everything. So, it was kind of awkward. I gave them pictures, and we talked, and Gujarati. Finally, I had someone to talk to in Gujarati. So I did that. So I watched the movie with a huge tub of. I'm a big fan of popcorn. I love popcorn. Inox no popcorn especially, but obviously I had to manage Tiano salted, which was okay. I had a huge tub of popcorn, a huge Coke, and everything. I had my, I think the best way I could end my solo trip. So yeah, I watched Brahmastra, went back home, and then I kind of made a few videos for myself. Didn't post them also, like just summarizing my trip, kind of a thing.
Right.
Because that was technically my last solo day. So yeah, and then the next day,
this philosophy of everything being written, somehow inculcated in those videos.
Yes, that video, that is like something even I would judge myself for. It's like I would never show that video to anyone, obviously. So
is there a song by this philosophy? I'm not sure. It's सब लिखा हुआ है पर फिर भी मैं फिर से लिखना चाहता हूँ.
Really?
Is there a song? I'm not sure. So. If not, then I really like this philosophy.
We can do that.
कि सब लिखा हुआ है बट मैं फिर से लिखना चाहता हूँ, फिर से खोना चाहता हूँ, या फिर से ना मतलब अनजाना होना चाहता हूँ. I want to be unknown to it. Something like this.
I
like this.
I don't think there is
a nice philosophy. So let's stick to it. Let it stay in my head. Let's keep talking. And बीच में till then I'm trying to crack the melody. चलो.
Yeah, perfect. So that video I made, and I slept very late ratre because I was kind of just thinking about how nicely I completed my solo trip, and I was and now that I think of the person I was before I went for the trip and the person I am now,
right,
it's a huge ass difference.
Of course, it's 100,000 more followers.
Yeah, not that way as well. Yeah, but inside also, like I've literally started to, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm very much more confident now. That everyone would be if they go on a solo trip. But I don't know. It's just a different person. Like I can't recognize, like, from the smallest of things. Like, for example, I love going to the gym, right? And I usually get very insecure about losing weight if I'm working hard. If I don't go to the gym for like 7-8 days, I start losing mass, and I got very insecure about that. But now I'm like, fuck it, it's okay, let it be. If I'm not being able to go to the gym, it's okay. I'll do it. I'll pull it off later on. I know. I trust myself.
Right.
So it's the smallest of things basically. It's very minor changes, but that's what kind of makes a big change, right?
Did any particular habit change?
I don't know. I think because
in your routine.
In my routine, I'd say not really, because not a particular habit. I can't pinpoint anything, but it's like now, like for example, Pella bhi Baroda ma also, if I went somewhere, I go for movies alone.
Right.
That I'm comfortable with now. But in a Siva, if I'm going to a shop or somewhere, then I always used to think that maybe people are just looking at me or judging me somehow. But now I don't care about that. It's not a habit. But now if you tell me to kind of go just walk around this road, I can just go walk around 30-40 minutes. I don't care if there are hundreds of people looking at me. I won't care.
Right.
because I know how to be comfortable by myself now very
Correct.
nicely, like in public as well. Alone, everyone's comfortable.
Correct.
Comfortable by
Hmm.
myself with people around me.
Hmm.
It's I don't think I'm nervous anymore. So
Right.
not a habit, but I think that trait has kind of changed big time. So that's one of the biggest things that has changed.
Correct.
But yeah, so then I had friends joining me in Prague, and then we partied. Prague is a beautiful party place. So we went to clubs and pubs and had a lot of fun 3-4 days.
Shoot a song
And
from this trip. Shoot a random song. Let's jam.
yeah.
Any random song that you heard in any particular place. If you remember this
We should
place,
do-
I heard this.
We should do. Do you know Uchiya Divara? No, Tum ho can be.
Tum ho.
I do know.
Face
We'll
this
take
way.
E
Take
major.
random.
I think E पर आई जैसे. What's the antra? You know antro future? It's a beautiful.
I am-
Wait.
I'm not-
Just go along. I'll just start.
अच्छा, तुम हो.
छीनेगा मुझसे ये जहां तुम्हें भी होवे क्या फिक्र अब हमें रब सुना रही कोई बात तुम हो मेरे लिए हो तुम यूं जितना महसूस करूं तुमको उतना ही पावी. Beautiful. I love this song, man. I love this song.
So Prague.
Yeah. So then it was all chill. It was like, again, a happy, sad feeling that my solo trip is over, but the trip is
Right.
still left, but I'm not solo anymore, which was weirdly sad because I wanted to be alone for a few more days. Then I had friends. We went out, we partied, we stayed at a nice place. It was good hanging around with people I know, finally. Yeah, so 2 days was just party. We just walked around the city. Yeah, then my biggest thing I was looking forward to in the US was grocery shopping. Because I just love buying groceries. I love buying different Doritos, and they have like millions of flavors with Coke and Fanta and like cherry Coke, vanilla Coke. So I used to go grocery shopping every day. Bought like a new fancy drink, some popcorn and all of that, and just to sum this up, my US trip, it was less about hanging out. It was more about kind of
Right.
relaxing with my family. And we watched Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum at home, eating popcorn, having Red Bull or whatever. We watched Tamasha, like a few of my favorite movies.
Right.
So 3 days were like 3 nights were like movie nights. And then we watched a few shows here and there. Then we kind of and they were my brother's friends as well. So we invited them, hosted a few parties at home. And yeah, it was we didn't hang out that much. We went to Brooklyn Brooklyn has this very good pizza places, like normal small stores, like not a fancy restaurant. So you basically go pizza hopping. So we like ate one slice here, then we go to the next
Right.
place, eat one slice there.
Right.
So we had a lot of pizza in Brooklyn for a day. Went to Six Flags, the roller coaster theme park. That was shit scary, man. That was very bad. So there's the tallest roller coaster of the world and the fastest in North America. The same roller coaster. It's like the tallest and the fastest. It's like 89 degrees, so it's like literally down, 89 degrees steep. It literally goes down at what 128 miles per hour. What was it? No, 228 miles per hour. That's like
Wow.
almost 400 kilometers per hour any speed. And it was shitty because we went once and the second I was like, I need to take the first row because that is how you experience it, and we did. And it goes and then it stops for like 5 odd seconds, and then they give you a 5 counter, 1 2 3 4 5. And the shitty part is they don't wait till 5. Sometimes they go 1 and out. Sometimes they go 1 2 3 and randomly they just shoot it, so you
Right.
don't really know when you're gonna launch. So it just goes all the way up and then it takes a pause here and then it's like free fall. That was very scary, but we did that 2-3 times, and then we did a few other rides, had nice food, pizza. Oh, how did I miss the Prague pizza story? Fuck. Oh yeah. So coming back to Prague for a day, So it was Kohli's century walu day, Afghanistan, and
Right.
now it might sound very dramatic, but I had a feeling that today Kohli will score. So I went to a pizza place. There was La Pizzeria or something. I don't know what it's called exactly, but something anyway. Not a big deal. So I went there. I didn't order pizza yet. I was watching the match. Okay,
Right.
and Kohli's batting around 56, 57 somewhere, and that is when I thought I'm going to have pizza today, no matter what. Kohli is going to score. Ordered like starters, breads and pastas and everything, and small portions because I was saving for the pizza. And Kohli was a 90 now, or somewhere around 90. I was like, fuck, give me the margarita. I'm gonna watch it while I have the pizza. And I literally, that was like a moment to cherish, man. I had my pizza while watching Kohli score his century. And obviously on Instagram, I couldn't show that because they'll think that I'm cheating. So
Right.
I didn't. But yeah, so I had my pizza while watching Kohli hit the century. So
Right.
that was kind of a good moment. I'm a big Kohli fan, man. I literally, I cry sometimes when he scores, when he's happy. That's
Give me F sharp. F sharp, fast drums, 4x4. Faster. Full strums. Now got it. So लिखा हुआ है सब, फिर भी लिखना मैं चाहता हूँ सब. ना 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 na 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 ra 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 ra. लिखा हुआ है सब, फिर भी मैं लिखना चाहता हूँ सब. फिर से हो ना मैं खोना चाहता हूँ. ना 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 ना. Whoa! Let's record this in your phone once. Give me the password. Got it. Okay, ready. 3, 2, 1, and one more. 3, 2, 1. लिखा हुआ है सब, फिर भी मैं लिखना चाहता हूँ सब. फिर से मैं खोना चाहता हूँ सब. ना 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 ra 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 ra. Whoa, na 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 na. लिखा हुआ है सब, फिर भी मैं लिखना चाहता हूँ सब. Because it's sub, तारक मेहता और मूवी सारों को भी जैसे.
Sub, oh my god, no.
So I have a lot of philosophies. I'll just round up everything that I could pick. One is your journey from being an introvert to being a comfortable introvert in public.
Yeah.
That is something that I really want to explore.
Yeah.
I somehow desperately want to add the word Chyawanprash.
Oh my god. No.
Something around chamka mein Chyawanprash or something like that. Some nice rhyming word to it. Then the feeling of that I can be anyone. That is what I realized in this trip.
Yeah.
But isn't that the same thing with life?
Yeah, I mean, but I think you always need a trip of this sort to.
Yes, to realize that. So you know, a stage-wise realization which I want to portray in this song.
Yeah.
That first you realize, okay, I am an introvert. I'm now comfortable.
Yeah.
Then you realize, okay, now I think I can be anyone.
Yeah.
But I can be anyone in this trip. Then
Yeah.
later on you realize it is not limited to this trip.
Yeah, I
I can be anyone in my life.
I can be myself, yet anyone.
Correct. Anyone, and then you discover yourself. Correct. That was I was discovering self. But through the entire realization that I can be anyone.
Yeah.
But why not start with my own self?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so this is the journey of this song.
Yeah.
And this can be the very nice hook. Likha hua hai sab. Nice.
Yeah.
We'll play. These are just placeholder lyrics, but likha hua sab chahta. All
That's
these
the
3-4
basic
words.
theory, that's the basic
These are going to stay.
Yeah.
So I have this very nice thing.
Yeah.
So if you have anything else,
Oh no, I'm just thinking.
nice. So US again was a very back to home
Homely
kind of a
yeah.
homely thing.
Yeah.
And how was the trip back from US?
That was a little tiring, but it was sad. It was sad actually. It was very sad. Yeah.
Okay.
I usually love watching movies in planes also because
Right.
it's like fun, free. So, but I didn't watch anything. I was almost sleeping all the time. It was even more depressing because I was jet lagged. I was like half in Europe, half in the US. Now going to India, so it was like 9-10 hours here and there. So I was pretty jet lagged. I was sleeping and waking up, and then the worst part was I had the aisle seat and it was a 3-seater. So every time someone had to go to the washroom, I had to wake up and then move. It was just I was already very pissed about how I'm just going back now after.
Right.
It should look like a long trip. Like 40-50 days is a lot, but even today, if I think of it, it's just like yesterday because it went like in a blinker. So it was kind of sad, but I'm happy I got back home. It was good meeting parents and family after a long time. I mean, friends obviously.
Are you homesick in general?
I don't think so.
Are you comfortable being away from home?
Yes,
like if you had to move to another country?
Yeah, I would love to do that. I wouldn't mind, but after a certain point of time, maybe I would be homesick. Like if I stay somewhere, like I haven't been home for like a year or something.
Of course.
I might be. Everyone is naturally.
Right.
But it's not like if I'm not at home for like 70-80 days, I'll feel homesick. I wouldn't. I might miss it sometimes because naturally.
Right.
But I don't think I would.
When it comes to creative juices, everyone has a different process.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm a comfort zone person. My creative juices flow in comfort zone.
Right.
But a lot of people are there, hustle karte, hard work karte flow karte.
Yeah.
Which one
I am not a big fan of like punishing yourself while you're hardworking.
Right.
Like, obviously, hard work you have to work hard for
Correct.
anything. But if you like pushing yourself to a limit where you don't want to go to, like it's still out of your comfort zone, but it's still a little extra discomfort. Like I never, even today, for example, say I haven't posted a reel for like 10 days, and now I'm like, fuck, I have to work hard, just think of something, because creative field, this is a creative field basically.
Right.
So I don't think you can force ideas. You cannot.
Of course.
You cannot.
Yes.
It has to come with the flow. And how I've seen this is there are like, I've had like a longest streak of like over a month where I haven't had productive ideas, reel wise, comedy wise. But then one day will come where you'll just wake up with a random idea and one will lead to 10 will lead to 20. So I just don't, I love working hard, but only when I am in the zone.
Right.
I don't like to like push myself, like why the fuck am I not in the zone, let's just go. I don't like doing that.
Do you have a pattern to go into the zone? Like some rituals? I
usually, so I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't think I'll have a pattern.
Like maybe having a coffee or going for a drive.
I like Red Bulls, but I quit Red Bull very recently.
Right.
It's too much sugar.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. But I think not a pattern exactly. But if today I think I'm in a good zone, maybe I shot like 2-3 videos, then I'll make sure that tomorrow I wake up early. Because waking up early, I've observed this. My mind works the best when it's like 8 a.m. in the morning. So if I'm ready by 8 to 11, I can 3 active hours of shooting. I can shoot like 5-6 reels. Let aside editing part, that I can do it later.
Of course.
But 3 hours, I can, if I capitalize on those 3 hours, I'm like very sorted, because now I have time to go to the gym. Now I have time to have my lunch. I have time to just chill, watch a movie in the evening. I can do whatever I want because I've done my bit in the day.
Correct.
If I wake up late, I'm gonna have this stress all day. Yaar, aaj ke kaam nahi kariyo.
Yes.
And that stress leads to less productivity.
Correct.
So kaam nahi kariyo tension mein haju kaam na tha, because while I'm trying to work, I'm in this pressure of not having work today.
Oh, this is very relatable even for me. If I don't work out in the morning, the day is very less productive.
Exactly.
And if I work out in the morning, the day is
that's it. It's set.
Workout and then black coffee around 2 p.m.
Yeah, you like black coffee.
But around 2 p.m. And not every day.
That
just 3 days a week. Not more than that, because I don't want कि I become dependent on that.
It's addictive.
I do.
Addictive.
It's okay to be bored some days, and I
honestly,
need there has to be a boring day. Not even once, actually twice a week.
Yeah.
So you will feel creative on the other days.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna force yourself, it doesn't.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna satisfy you also in the end.
Because
so
technically you can't be excited about everything and anything,
Yeah.
especially creativity, every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then the bar just keeps going high.
Exactly. And I read this very good thing about like content creation in general only. If you are at a job where you are working 30 days a month,
Right.
and you are having to upgrade your skills every 30 days, then you are a content creator. Because basically
Correct.
that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Like if
True.
I post a video today, okay, everyone laughed, it went viral. If I do the same thing tomorrow, nobody will enjoy it. I have to upgrade my skills every now and then, and that takes a toll sometimes. And social media is very toxic. It is very toxic. Like I said, 12-13K par ato tyare. It's very toxic because the numbers. I've stopped looking at numbers also now. I don't look at how many views my reels have. Even the ones that I know that have went viral, I have a number, maybe 10-11 million gaye, but I haven't looked at the number. I will never look at the figures ever. Now I also want to stop to look at the likes, but it's like in your face, so
yes,
it's just visible. So I want to stop doing that also. Just post my reels, reply to the comments, be satisfied. If the reel satisfies me, if I'm happy with the product,
right,
that's what matters.
Lately I've been really fascinated with watching people go viral.
Yeah,
I love it. But especially when it happened with you. While coming here, 1 hour back, I was telling him there are very few people I root for in life. There are these two very special people in my life. I won't name them in this podcast, but I really root for them. But when I see you, when I meet you right now, I kind of realized that I also rooted for your.
You did, man. I remember talking to you back then.
Virality.
And I get that vibe. Like when I was stuck around 12, 13, not everyone knew because no one is looking at my followers every day.
Correct.
I am. But then there are a few people like you, and I remember distinctly talking to you at that point of time. There were a few who actually talked to me just generally, didn't tell me that I support you, but then you get the vibe,
Correct.
And there are a few people who actually just say that, but they don't really want you to kind of go big.
Right.
So you get that vibe. So I think I got that vibe from you, like not because we're on the podcast or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. So there are I respect a few people. I know that if they're wishing good for me, they're genuinely wishing good for me. So
but अभी शेर बाहर आ गया है.
शेर बाहर आ गया है.
शेर बाहर आ गया है. अभी शेर खुले में दौड़ रहा है.
अभी और दौड़ना है थोड़ा.
अभी तो काफी दौड़ना है. You have to overfeed yourself with work.
Yeah. I have a very big goal in mind. So
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Do you believe in jinxing goals after sharing them?
I do. I've become very superstitious lately. Like Kasuri Thayan, I'm always like touch wood. I want to stop doing that because it kind of makes me a little scared. Like a few of my Instagram friends, Instagram report they kind of lost their account and everything. So that is very scary because if I do
actually,
my career is gone.
Our existence is
exactly
just
but
that.
Then they also got it back.
After
a few like reports about that, then you talk to the Instagram community. So you can. There's always a way to get it back.
Of course.
And I'm a very strong believer of the fact that whatever happens for the good only. Because so tomorrow if I'm going to lose my Instagram, touch wood, no, I'm going to. But if I do, then I'll just get it back sometime. And if I don't, then maybe there's something bigger for me in store. Maybe I'll just start YouTube and maybe that'll click and that'll give me more fame, more money than YouTube and Instagram ever could have. So yeah, like I quit my job and I didn't know I'll go this viral and I start earning money out of this, but I did. And I quit music school for the job. I quit the job for content creation. All of this while quitting, I wasn't sure if I want to do what I'm going to do. But then it always turned out to be for the better. So
and I'm going to pull you back to music now.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're going to sing this one.
Oh my God, no.
You have to. Yeah. You have to come to Ahmedabad to sing it.
I think I will. I can. Yeah.
And also, on the end note, what I really feel is, superstition. Don't be superstitious about superstition.
Yeah.
Be superstitious about people who are superstitious.
Right.
Because जे भी लोग superstitious होए ना, they have very strong conviction.
Yeah.
And if they believe, if 10 people are believing one thing, they have the power
Yeah, to make it happen.
To make it happen.
Yeah. I agree.
So be superstitious about them.
Yeah.
Not about the fact that
this will happen,
this is going to happen or not.
Yeah.
But if 10 people are believing it, then you should also. So I was also very because now I'm going to get married in 2 months.
Oh, when is it again?
First week of December.
Oh, nice man.
So I'm going to get married. So I used to be, there was a point in my time when I used to question a lot of rituals. Isse kya hota hai, usse kya hota hai. I was a very hardcore, cool-looking atheist, but now I'm not that anymore. I believe a lot in energy, and I have had a lot of experiences recently where I've seen if a lot of people are believing around me that this is going to happen, it does happen.
It does. There's this energy that it just makes it happen, man.
It's always a circle. The same thing about the Eiffel that we talked. So if Eiffel feels beautiful, because everyone coming there wants it to be beautiful.
Feeling. Yeah, they all want it to be beautiful. Yeah.
So lovely, man. That's a very nice note to end it on.
Yep.
And I'm hoping to complete this song very soon and get your vocals on it.
When do I come to Ahmedabad?
Mostly next week.
Yeah,
I'll be done this week. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it right after Diwali then.
Sounds perfect. Good. Yeah, that's the perfect time. Yes. Done.
Perfection, sir.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And song number 20th is going to be Aatman Desai, Likha Hua Hai Sab. फिर भी मैं लिखना चाहता हूँ.
I'm nervous. I'm excited. Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect.